I think the new generation does feel like games are sufficient storytelling devices, and
they're far in between,
and superior.
They're far in between,
superior to movies. Superior to movies in that regard, in terms of like a cinematic story arc. You know, they'd much rather get you know
what the most
however many hours it is of cutscenes and being able to play through it. You know, that is the Gen Z and younger will all be like, oh yeah, this is way better than it. You know what I mean?
You know what the best part of any story I've ever felt to me that makes a story really like a masterpiece? When I go, hey, that's me. I feel like that's what makes a story to some sense, to some degree. Is when there's an ultimate resonance with the audience and the work. Even if it's not direct.
Do you feel like games are better at giving you that experience? Because it's like...
They can be.
Because you play...
They can be. I feel like there's more better movies than there is games. Okay, like the best movie and the best game in terms of like story. Mm-hmm. There's more movies than there is games. No doubt about it. I don't even think it's close.
But Last of Us, God of War 2, people are like, these are... I've heard somebody call Last of Us 2 like the best zombie story ever.
I've also heard people say they fucking despise it, so it's a mixed bag.
Or Last of Us 1 maybe or something.
Probably. See, this is why I always tell people, like, hey, if you really want to truly appreciate a game,
so that means
you're gonna play it.
You think they are comparable?
Don't watch it. I think so.
So like a game can.
Like if someone says, "How do I watch a movie?" You watch it in the theater.
Okay,
there's a right way to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Then you're part of the future, where
I embrace it.
If you think that now, then in 20, 30 years there'll be way less movies being made and way more games, and you won't mind because they can both give you the same.
They can both scratch the same itch.
Right.
But I just love the fact that I can kind of maybe relive these stories over again and again, personally. Because I don't know. I mean,
a movie or a game?
Well, both. They both can do that. For me.
Oh yeah, rewatchability, replayability.
Well, I mean, if it's good, you can watch it numerous times.
Yeah,
at least twice.
Now, for me, they're just not the same at all.
I don't feel like you've ever played. I don't feel like you've ever opened your mind and just sat down in a room and played a good story-based game and just... Man, but even if you try to play the older ones, the gameplay is going to feel archaic. But, man, I don't know. Sometimes I think a game even breaks the fucking archaic nature of its control scheme, like movies can.
And maybe
like to me, Halloween. There is still something unsettling about that film that I just can't explain. And I think that's what gives it so much power over me and a lot of other people. Like Resident Evil 4, dude. If I play that game now, I'm like, oh, these controls suck, but I still love it, dude. It's still a fantastic game. You know?
Dude, okay, what if there's a psychological effect also where, like, when you're playing the game part of it, mm-hmm. you by halfway through, like, you've got all the controls down, you've got all the moves down, and then you can just focus on what you want to happen to the character, what you want the character to do. Once you reach that state, then it's like, okay, maybe you psychologically enter like another slightly altered state where you're a little more focused, a little more attentive. So then when the cutscenes come in, they hit harder because you're kind of in a more focused state from gaming.
You see, here's the thing. I feel like all the good games you've seen, you've only seen.
Right.
So I feel like you're doing yourself a huge discredit.
That's what I'm saying. If I was actually going through the ritual of it.
Right.
then
So,
it
like,
would be. It's a different
I think
experience.
if you sat down, popped on and I think this would make it even better if you popped on a CRT and put on and had a PSX,
yeah,
and played Metal Gear Solid 1 and try to immerse yourself in the 98 experience.
I've played some of it on my phone with an emulator.
That's not the same. You need a controller, dude.
But yeah, no, I could get it on my computer and play it with a controller, with my Xbox controller.
And then immediately play PlayStation 2 and then play it on a standard definition CRT on the PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the leap in graphics in 3 years alone. Oh my god, dude.
Yes, it was beyond incremental back then.
It was.
It was a huge, like, every
couple of years it was just getting insane. There was just leaps and bounds in technology.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And it was that way still for another 10 years after that. And then it kind of petered out in the teens.
Well, I broke it down like this. So from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 2, the last one, it's like 10 years. No, it's like 12 years. That lifespan is the same as Modern Warfare 2 to like a game on the Sega Genesis. Do you see the difference here?
Wow.
64-bit art to photorealistic 3D environments.
Yeah.
With light engines. Granted, they're probably on like the same engine too.
Yeah, but
you
now
know they're still using the same Quake engine from the 90s on the current generation of Call of Duty games. People don't know this. It's heavily revamped. They replaced lots of components of it.
Yeah.
But the same code is basically the Quake engine.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They just keep adding onto it and augmenting it, huh?
Yeah, like the Blam engine from Halo Infinite. It's the same one from Halo CE. It's the same engine.
Yeah.
They call it the subspace, but it's just a... Granted, it's like Theseus ship. It's like, is it even really truly the same? You know, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But, I mean, the same basic architecture is there. It's not a completely new set of code. They have the same glitches from 20 years ago. You can see through your body in like a certain perspective. There was the same melee glitches from the original games. The movement, like, okay, you strip it down, you put the same values, it's the same physics.
I guess because they own it, you know? If you make something in Unreal, you've got to pay them.
Yeah.
You know, if you're making money off of it.
And creating a brand new engine from scratch is really difficult.
Yeah.
It takes years. These AAA companies don't have time to do that. So they're just iterating on old code.
But I'm sure it's...
they call it code debt.
But, you know, I'm sure in the last 10 years, it's sort of like the graphics where it's like the last 10 years, they haven't changed it as much as they did in the first 10 years, you know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's just like incremental, like, okay, it needs to be able to handle like 4K or...
But people always like to say, like, you know, they work hard, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but the technology has gotten easier and more efficient and better overall.
It has, dude. See, dude,
there's more work, but there's better tools to do it with. Dude,
there's like affordable CG companies that you can get to do, like, you know, your effects.
Yeah. It's become completely commercialized now.
It's like a group of guys that know what's the Adobe fucking After Effects?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can do a lot of shit with just that. And, you know, some indie filmmaker comes to you and they like, oh, I need you to paint out this and add blood here or whatever.
Yeah, we'll pay you $10,000 or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
You know, depending on the shots.
Well, it's like a professional musician. You can hire a professional musician to play with you somewhere. They probably cost a couple $1,000, but you could totally do it.
Yeah, and there's different levels of it, and now it's getting to the point where there's enough of them to where there's like
a market.
Many tiers, yeah. Many tiers. From decent to
what if we just saw like an independent? Oh, we're already seeing this now for Unreal 4. It's like a proprietary game engine that you could rent out, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the cameras. That's the future I want.
What?
where technological advancements are more widely available to the general population.
Through
capitalism and free markets.
laissez-faire. Yeah. No, look, it's good and look, the free market is good and bad. It's good at some things and really bad at other things.
Right. So there might need to be a supplementary for it.